Welcome back. You're watching the brand new Startup Central with me, Nayanthara Rai. Before the break, we were talking about WhatsApp's grand challenge. It gave out checks of $50,000 each to 5 startups. It did so in collaboration with the government's Startup India. But it's not just WhatsApp. Facebook also has big plans for startups. Shouldn't come as a surprise. They all have the same owner, Mark Zuckerberg. Clearly, Facebook looking to leverage opportunities with startups for all its platforms, be it WhatsApp or Instagram. And we saw that with Facebook announcing its first ever investment in an Indian startup, Meesho, a social commerce platform. Meesho will clearly bring new untapped opportunities for Facebook across its platforms. Meesho, short for Meri Shop in Hindi, was co-founded in 2015 by 2 batchmates of IIT Delhi, Vidit Atre and Sanjeev Barnwal. Meesho's already raised $65 million, including $50 million in a Series C funding 7 months back. It was also incubated at one of America's most coveted startup accelerators, the Y Combinator. Success on Startup Street usually follows a string of failures. In the case of Meesho and its failures, it was just one. Vidit and Sanjeev's first startup had failed. It was a hyper-local, on-demand fashion marketplace, or what they like to call Swiggy for fashion. But from that failure, Vidit and Sanjeev hit on a gold mine of an idea. What was that insight? What was that idea? What really worked? Don't hear it from us. Hear it from the Meesho founder, Vidit Atre himself.
Meesho, as a social commerce platform, what it does, it enables people to start their small businesses online, mostly using social platforms such as WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. It's very common in India of women starting boutiques out of their houses, right? Very, very common. But for every boutique that you see there are 99 other women who also want to start a boutique but just do not have access to capital. So we said, if we can go to them and tell them that, hey, I know you want to start a business of your own, but you don't have money, and we'll help you out. And we will train you, we will mentor you, we will tell you how to start a small business, and then we'll give you access to all the tools, all the supply that you need. Started reaching out to people of very, very diverse backgrounds, housewives, female students, like retired folks who are trying to make pension, and said, why don't you start your own online business without any investment? We have men, women, all different age groups selling their stores of whatever categories they like, they relate with, be it fashion, apparel, accessories, cosmetics, home decor. People are running their travel agencies here. People are selling food. There's so many people out there who want to do this, who want to start their business because it empowers them, but they just do not have resources. And we gave them a very simple tool, giving them access to everything in the ecosystem. And these people, using their hard work, just scaled it so fast. As of now, we empower about 500,000 people on a monthly basis to sell something and make money. Our mission is 10 years from now, if anyone in India wants to start a small business, they should come to us. We will give them access to everything they need in this ecosystem. Because doing business offline in terms of cost and in terms of return in the new age does not make sense.
Well, there you go. That's the Meesho co-founder on the journey so far. But we've got all bases covered here on Startup Central. We've got your Meesho side of the story. Now we're going to touch base with Facebook to find out what it is that impressed Facebook about Meesho. Not just that, we're going to be quizzing Facebook India's top boss on behalf of all of you entrepreneurs, all of you businessmen, all of you that have a startup, on how you can leverage Facebook in the best possible way. Incidentally, this is Facebook India's Ajit Mohan making his television debut too. So Ajit, thanks so much for joining us here on ET Now on Startup Central. Facebook making its first ever equity investment in a startup in the country. I have to ask you, why now and why Meesho?
Nayanthara, we are excited to announce an equity investment in Meesho, which is one of India's most exciting and fastest growing social commerce companies. I think to the question that you asked, Facebook has been investing in India for quite a while. But what really made us excited about this particular company and the fact that we are making an equity investment of this kind for the first time in India is one, it's a company started by two entrepreneurs. We like their journeys, we like the story. And second, we really like the model of entrepreneurship that Meesho is fostering. Most of their focus is on tier 2 and tier 3 cities beyond the large metros. It's really fostering a three-way marketplace, connecting resellers, suppliers, and entrepreneurs. And we really like that of the 2 million resellers that they have, more than 80% are women. So we really like the story of investing in a startup that is making a material impact in driving entrepreneurship in India, and especially female entrepreneurship.
Okay, so now we know why Meesho, but India is a burgeoning market. So Ajit, is this just a start? Will there be more investments? Will there be a fund dedicated to India?
I think, Nayanthara, a couple of things to point out here. One, we really see ourselves as an ally for India and India's internet, and therefore we've been here for the last few years. Our family of apps is large and consequential, and we have been investing in India for a long time. But really, where we believe there is an opportunity, even beyond the work we do every day, including helping small and medium businesses discover new markets in India and abroad, where we believe there is an opportunity to support a new company through an equity investment, we will continue to do that even in the future.
Ajit, you're still not telling me, is there going to be an India dedicated fund that, Facebook will invest in startups, and how much of an investment have you made in Meesho?
Yeah, I think on the question, no, Nayanthara, we are not looking at this as setting up an India venture capital fund. That's not the lens for us. The lens really is there is work that we do every day, and on top of that, if there are opportunities like Meesho, where there's a company that has a very positive impact on India and job creation and the India internet, we're very willing to support that with a financial investment. So we're not disclosing the size of that investment, but we really see this as the beginning of a journey to support a company like Meesho. And if we have opportunities in the future where we get an opportunity like this, where we see a company that really is moving the agenda of job creation in India, we'll grab that opportunity again. But the construct of it is not an India fund.
Now, Facebook has been acting as an ally of startups. It runs several accelerator programs and initiatives right here in India. But Ajit, what's it going to take for Facebook to like a startup so much that it's not going to just press like, but come on board as an equity investor? What is Facebook's checklist, the do's and don'ts for investing in a startup?
I think it's two or three things. One, impact. I think one of the things we liked in Meesho is in a very short period of time, they've shown real impact. Obviously, they've grown in revenues, but they have more than 2 million resellers, more than 80% of whom are women, most of whom are female entrepreneurs who are entrepreneurs for the first time in terms of owning a business. So impact is one lens. I think the second lens is we do like companies that are aligned with our mission of giving really people to the power to build communities. This is clearly a community being built on Meesho that are playing a constructive role in helping their local communities, friends and families, discover and get access to interesting products. But that lens of close-knit, powerful communities that are adding value, that's the second lens that we're always excited by because it's close to our mission. And third is, fundamentals of the business. We saw two entrepreneurs who were building the business block by block, focused on the right things, and that excited us as well. So hopefully that's a framework that'll be helpful for people who are listening, Nayanthara.
Well, there you go. For all of you that are interested in knowing how to get Facebook to like you, what is a checklist, you're hearing it from the top boss of Facebook India. Now, for everyone who's tuning into Startup Central, Ajit, I have to ask this question for the entrepreneurs, for the startups, for all of those that have businesses. What's the best way for them to leverage Facebook? How can they monetize the business the best way possibly on Facebook?
I think it's a great question. It's also a very broad question, Naithara, and the one observation that I have over the last 5 years, or even if I dial back 5 years, is there's a lot more diversity and depth in the India internet market, and that applies for monetization as well, where there is diversity in sources of revenue, whether it is advertising or subscription or transactions. So for any entrepreneur where they're excited by a fundamental mission, I think one of the big things that has happened, one of the big shifts that have happened in the last few years is there's a lot of depth in the India internet market, and therefore there's a lot of different revenue streams. I think it is just about discovering the right revenue stream for the business model that you have and going after it with gusto.
Ajit, I'm not going to let you go so easily. Give tips to the viewers of ET Now. Give tips to all those entrepreneurs, startups, and businessmen that are tuning in. What's the best way for them to monetize their content on Facebook?
I think a couple of things in terms of leveraging our family of apps. One, I think obviously one of the big powers is the massive scale and reach of the platforms. So for any entrepreneur, it is helpful for them in terms of discovering new markets, whether those markets exist in India or around the world. I think the second is clarity about product market fit. I think one of the power of really the superpower of Facebook is it is possible to identify particular consumer groups who may have affinity to a proposition that you have. And I think just having that clarity of understanding of what that fit is will allow them to leverage the power of the platforms quite well.
So, on Google, there's a search engine optimization, or SEO. Does Facebook have a similar algorithm that, the entrepreneurs, businesses, startups can leverage?
Yeah, absolutely. And frankly, I mean, that may well be a longer conversation, Naithara, because one of the power of the platform is, and we see that every day in terms of the kind of small businesses, one-person, two-person entrepreneurs who are coming to Facebook or Instagram for the first time and finding a way to grow their businesses from zero to very material numbers dramatically. And I think a lot of the power is they find it easy to use these two apps. They find that there are enough toolkits on both these surfaces that they're able to quickly understand easily and start leveraging them. So, for us, a lot of our focus has been really on how can we be an ally for small entrepreneurs and small businesses who may not have support from large agencies. And I think a lot of our success in the last few years has been because we have made it a big part of our mission to help small entrepreneurs become successful.
So do they reach out directly to, let's say, Facebook or Instagram?
They're able to find answers on Facebook and Instagram itself, and there are opportunities for them to reach out to us or work through agencies as well. But we have made it really easy for businesses to quickly discover how to leverage our platforms and grow overnight almost.
We read about this a lot. The data also shows it. Kids don't like Facebook anymore. They're more on Instagram. Their first preference is to be on Instagram. WhatsApp, of course, popular across all age groups. I know in the end it may not matter because Mark Zuckerberg is a promoter of all companies, but if I were to talk about Facebook and the fact that in India we talk so much about that demographic dividend, it can't be good for business.
I think it's a good question, Naithara, and also because I guess there are some narratives in terms of the relevance of Facebook to young demographics. I think the reality, Naithara, that we see in India is Facebook app is growing dramatically across geographies and across age demographics. At the same time, we are excited by the growth of Instagram, including in India, where it has grown really well over the last few months and years. So we do believe that both the apps play different roles, but I do have to tell you that what we see from the inside is that growth is happening over the last 3 years as more and more people have come online in India. Growth is happening both on Facebook and Instagram quite materially, and amongst all age groups and amongst all geographies and even beyond the metros and the large cities.
So are you saying that all these platforms are growing equally? There's not one that's growing faster?
I think, it's a conversation for later, Nayantara, but I have to tell you, both are growing really fast. Both are growing really fast, yeah.
Another question that we get asked a lot from our viewers right here on ET Now. So I want to ask the Facebook India top boss about this. What works better? Is it video? Is it text? Is it a right mix of the two? What's the best way to get eyeballs?
I think, some of these, are questions for which the answers have multiple layers, Nayantara. But clearly, I think what we see on our own family of apps and my experience over the last few years is with a lot of people who are coming onto the internet for the first time, they're expressive on multiple fronts. They're using messages in a private setting like WhatsApp. Stories on Facebook and Instagram are exploding, including amongst the younger demographics. And video obviously is playing a very material role in India, both on the entertainment front as well as on the learning front. I think that's what makes this market quite exciting. I don't think the growth is happening on any one. I think the growth is exploding across multiple formats. I think the common driver is that as a lot of people come onto the internet for the first time and beyond the large cities, I think all of them are finding ways to express, whether that's through text or a format like a story or through video, and equally they are consuming each of these three formats quite materially as well. So I think we are quite delighted that we are quite in the middle of the action of all the three.
Valuable tips coming in from the top boss of Facebook India. Ajit, I've got to ask you this also. How exactly will Facebook support Meesho? For example, will Facebook have representatives on the board of Meesho? Will you take Meesho global? What exactly is the plan?
No, that's a great question. We're not going to be on the board. The idea is the financial investment itself is the first act of support. But clearly, that opens the door to conversations between Meesho and us to explore where we can be helpful, where we can be supportive, but equally, some of those answers that we discover will be open for other ventures as well. We don't see this as in any way being privileged only for one company. We'll do what we can to support Meesho, including with the equity investment we announced today. But we'll find ways to support them in other ways, and we'll leverage those learnings to support other companies like Meesho.
And how many other startups are you talking to? Are you going to share that with us?
I think the question that you asked me in the beginning, I think what is the lens that we apply, which I described to you. And I think that's a lens that we're going to use to explore opportunities as they come, Nayantara. We believe we have a potential for creating more impact, and we'll kind of double up when an opportunity comes up.
Okay, with that, Ajit, thank you so much for joining us here on Startup Central. It's our first episode of the revamped show. Ladies and gentlemen, the top boss of Facebook India, only on Startup Central. Not just talking about the first ever investment in a Indian startup, but also for all of you, valuable tips on how you can leverage all the platforms the best possible way. With that, we're going to take a short commercial break, but stay tuned. Remember, by the way, you can always send us your comments on our social media platforms like Facebook, but even Twitter. Having said that, we're taking this short commercial break, but stay tuned. We've got a lot lined up on the other side. Welcome back. You're watching the brand new Startup Central coming to you every weekday from 6 to 7 p.m. I'm Nentara Rai. Before we go any further, here's a quick alert. You can stay in touch with us. You can email us. This is the email address. You can also get onto Twitter, log onto Twitter, and this is the Twitter handle that you can reach me at and send me your views, your comments, interesting things that you would like to see on the show, things that you would like featured. Stay in touch with us. That's, of course, very, very important. I'm going to now head to the United States. Very recently, we saw Walmart hold its annual general meeting. ET Now was present at that AGM, a crucial one, after India introduced new e-commerce rules, which of course is bad news for Walmart and its $16 billion acquisition of Flipkart. Having said that, the Bentonville headquartered retail giant is still very, very bullish when it comes to India. My colleague Rahul Dyama was there at the annual general meeting, and he also thought that it's a good idea to go and see how Walmart is staying ahead of the curve. Obviously, with technology and staying connected with its consumers, but at its stores, you're seeing new kinds of technology being deployed. And while Jeff Bezos and Amazon are thinking about delivering goods with drones, Walmart has a very different idea. It's going to be using driverless cars that will drive to your doorstep with the delivery that you ordered.
Ever wondered what a Walmart store in the US looks like? What really drives them? They're the largest retailer with about 5,700 stores in the US alone. They're also present in 27 countries. Well, I hopped into a Walmart store to give you a sense of what the store is, what the magnitude of the store is. Please take a look at this.
All we want in terms of an opportunity in India is a level playing field. And we think that we have historically and will continue to make the case that Walmart being part of India is positive for the people of India. We have been and want to, in a larger way, help farmers. We want to help serve Kiranas. Flipkart and PhonePe give us an opportunity to do that. And so all we ask is that it be a level playing field between domestic and foreign operators, and we'll all compete, and the customer in the end will win. But we can help the other stakeholders along the way. I think Walmart, I just was blessed and ended up getting some exposure to this company at a very young age and got to do all these different jobs. And I'm not done yet. And got to meet a lot of people. So I run into people inside our company all the time that I worked with 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and we know each other. Walmart's a big company, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it. It still feels in some ways small, and we know each other. On the issue of what keeps me up at night, honestly, nothing. Jet lag is really the only thing that comes to mind that impacts my sleep. Beyond that, an answer would be speed. I think as a company, we've got to move faster, and the world is not going to slow down and wait for us, and it's not going to operate more slowly in a year or 3 years than it does now. I was talking to our former CEO, David Glass, on the phone a couple of days ago, and David said what he's been saying to me frequently: I don't know how you guys do it. Like, it's so much more complex, and it's so much faster than it used to be. And my response was, I bet you I'm saying that to the person that follows me and the person that follows them, because that's how this is going to go. And so you just learn to adapt and move with it. As it relates to India, we are really excited about that country. I've been going there for years. Our cash and carry business is something we're proud of. We source a lot of product out of India. We employ a lot of people there that do shared service and Walmart Labs technology work for us. And the country is so diverse and fascinating that I just enjoy going there and want to have a business that helps people in that country. You can hopefully see the authentic, caring aspects of our culture, and we like to make a difference. So I would like for farmers in India to make more money. I would like for the supply chain to work for them and reduce waste and help people that are on the receiving end of all that fresh product. We would like to invest more. As I mentioned earlier, we just want a level playing field so we can. Just give us fair and consistent rules, just like everyone else, and we'll operate within those rules and do a good job to try and deliver for the business as well as for the other stakeholders. But that's what we do in every country. That's what we want to do here.
I'm here at the Samsung store in Bentonville, and it's a massive store by the look of it. Really, membership cards are issued to people, largely vendors targeting businesses. But even if a customer does want to shop here, the prices are great, up to 50% discount on products. But even a customer who walks in can get a day's card and sort of shop here. The interesting thing about the store is, remember, while retail is at the heart of it, there's a lot of tech really driving it. So you have data analytics to sort of predict consumer demand, the goods that are on display. So technology is sort of changing the way retail is really done, and there's a lot that we can also take back home. Hi, thank you so much, Eddie, for taking it.
Thank you very much.
What I really loved was the fact that there is computer vision now that can help you check in, check out, and walk out of the store without dealing with people. Can you tell us how it works?
Absolutely. So we have built an application with computer vision technology to make the scanning process incredibly easy. We could reduce the scanning time down by 70% from finding a barcode versus using computer vision. So let me show you how it works. This is our existing Scan and Go app. It's a prototype, however, that has computer vision built into it. So you can see I added the Capri Sun, the bananas. Look at how fast it is to scan.
And the fact is, you don't have to scan the barcode anymore. It's computer vision at play, helping you, scan the products and check out immediately.
Even something under the basket that's heavy, I could just point the camera at it and I could scan it. For our members, water's heavy.
Yeah.
So if you have back problems, if you have a disability, that's hard.
So do I also get to check out, pay on this and leave?
Yes, absolutely. So you could go to your cart, and you could check out and slide to pay, and you're done. You go to the exit.
You just show them the fact that you're done.
You show them the barcode at the exit. The exit greeter will scan that, and you're out. You're done.
So this is something that is in the pilot phase and will sort of be across Sam's Club store here in the US?
Yes, you could use the barcode scanning in our existing Scan and Go in any Sam's Club in the United States. Computer vision, we're going to start testing that in our Dallas Innovation Club, and we'll be rolling it out from there.
What else is under your sleeves as far as technology is concerned?
I'm not going to share those secrets with you, but we're about innovation, and we're about creating a great experience for our members, and we get to do both, and you're going to see us do a lot more in the coming months and years.
All right, Eddie, thanks so much. It was wonderful to have you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
So this is an interesting technology at place to sort of change retail. It's about the large queues, all of that being done away with. And this is Sam's Club, powered by Walmart, that is sort of re-envisaging retail, because remember, they've been around for so many years, but the challenge right now is the traditional retailers face owing to the onslaught of technology and online players, and this is how they stay relevant. The massive scale and scope of things here at Sam's Club in Bentonville.
Driverless cars, vision sensors, it's all happening. I want to know how quickly all of that will come to India. Will we see it with Flipkart or what? Well, stay tuned to Startup Central. We'll be back same time tomorrow. Many thanks for tuning in.